Our concerns are primarily that the needs of crofting communities have been largely ignored. There's 750,000 hectares of land in Scotland under crofting tenure, and to ignore that amount of land is a huge and serious omission. It'll also make it very, very difficult for those hugely successful community buyouts of land that have been so successful in the Western Isles and elsewhere. It'll be almost impossible to do that under the new legislation, and that will be a very detrimental step indeed. I think community buyouts have demonstrated that when communities own their own land, they are able to address serious issues which beset us, like population decline, lack of jobs, and lack of community initiative. They've begun to address all these issues, and it would be a great shame and a disaster if all that was wiped out by land reform which doesn't take account of that. We have a perfect example on our own doorstep in Bernera, where islanders have been trying to buy their own island for quite a long time now, and they're stymied at every turn by the landlord, who is not willing to listen to reason and is trying to extract as much as he possibly can from the sale. These things are completely and utterly wrong, and the Scottish Government should be much more proactive in ensuring that people like the Bernera community are able to buy their own land and use it for their own good. They live and work on it, and they should have the power to buy it and use it for their own benefit, and not for some absentee landlord who lives in Switzerland or wherever it is that he lives. Yeah, they've been helping to buy community pubs and redundant schools and these sort of things. But the big drive for buying out absentee landlords and bad landlords has practically dried up, because under the current regime, it's virtually impossible to do that. And the new bill will wipe that initiative out altogether. That is a hugely detrimental step, and it must be stopped. I mean, the Scottish Government boasts that they take needs of islands and rural communities into account, and indeed they've passed legislation to that effect. But when it comes to the practicalities, they almost always ignore it. And this is an example of legislation which they are proposing, ignoring the needs of the crofting community. Well, we would like to see the initiatives that the Labour Party set up at the onset of the Scottish Parliament to enable communities to buy their own land at reasonable prices and not at inflated prices, so that they can begin to address all these issues that beset rural areas and island areas, like population decline, lack of housing, young people drifting away, isolation, ruined houses. All of these things can be helped, as has been demonstrated time and time again with those successful community buyouts that we've seen in the Western Isles.